completed your deen, completed our favor upon you, and chosen for your way of life is Islam. The Qur'an is not deen, the Qur'an is not Islam. Rather, the Sunnah is Islam. The Sunnah is the deen. Okay? So what you're saying is not based on anything, okay, from knowledge or from what any of the ancestors understood it. Because we have a continuous chain of scholars who have understood this religion in the best way, from then till now. And the Prophet told us that they will always be with us, a group, okay, adhering to the truth. And all of
How
these
do you know?
because the Prophet told us who they were.
Yes.
And he told us their qualities. And he say they are marked.
That's really good.
But give me one example of something that is not relevant today from the Sunnah. One thing. One single thing that the Prophet used to practice. One thing that he decreed as part of the revelation that is not relevant in today's society or any society, or that was for them and is not for now. You won't find anything. I gave you... Well, what? Because that's just your whims and your desires. If you think about it, that's just your opinion. What does your opinion avail against revelation? Who knows better, you or Allah? At the end of the day, you say, well, I think. But you have to bring a proof. If you have any...
But you don't have to prove. You don't have to prove that what Muhammad received in some of the, some of the hadiths. You say this is something. This is an expression of the will of God. But how do you know it's expression of the will of God, which is intended?
Because I know. Because we know. Because first of all, we don't accept any hadith. We accept any hadith whose authenticity has been proven. Okay? Any authentic hadith is as if we are reading it, it's as if we're hearing it from the mouth of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay? The Qur'an tells us and the Prophet himself informed us, and there can be no doubt about anyone who studies this matter about the authenticity of these sayings. It's been explained to us. The Prophet said, the Qur'an and my Sunnah come together and they will never be separated until they meet me at the pond in paradise. That's what he said. The Qur'an and my Sunnah, they come together and they will never be separated until they meet me at the pond in paradise. And the Prophet said, there are two things, as long as you hang to them, cling on to them, you will never go astray. The Book of Allah and my Sunnah. And the Prophet said there will be 73 sects, and all of them, from the Ummah, my nation, there will be 73 sects, all of them in hellfire except one. And the companions asked, who is that one, the Prophet of Allah? He said, that to which I and my companions belong, or those who follow my Sunnah, okay, and the example of my companions, okay, and many other hadith, okay, where he ordered us, cling to my Sunnah and the Sunnah of the Khulafa ar-Rashidin, and these things, okay. So there's many things that make it very perfectly clear, okay, that the Qur'an is explained by the Sunnah. The Sunnah is revelation, okay, like it's the Qur'an. The Prophet said that the angel Gabriel brought down the Qur'an, and he brought down the Sunnah, okay. And he said, Allah has given me two things. He's given me the Qur'an and something like it along with it, okay. He's given me the Qur'an and something like it along with it, like it in that it is revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, along with it the Sunnah. And there's so many things that make it very clear that, but if we mean by Sunnah, the way I dress, this is not what we mean, okay? This is an aspect of this is another matter. But in the Sunnah we mean how the Prophet he prayed, how he fasted, how he taught us to make Hajj, how he taught us to implement the laws of Allah, how he taught us to fight jihad. For example, that quote I gave to you about how to fight war was from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You understand? That was not from the Qur'an. That was from what the Prophet said, and that's just as relevant today as it was then. And at the end of the day, if you want to say that anything about Islam, you have to bring a proof. You understand? Because what distinguishes this religion and Muslims, a true Muslim, is that his religion and his worshipping his creator Allah is based on knowledge and proof. You understand? So now if you want to say...
It's not quite true. It's knowledge and proof in a particular framework. It's knowledge and proof in the Islamic framework.
It's knowledge and proof. It's certain knowledge and proof.
It's not proof.
It's certain knowledge.
Let me give you the proof. Proof is...
Salam. No, I would have had to know straight away. Excuse me, my friend. I leave you in the competent hands of Abdurrahmaan. I have to go, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Now, if you want to know the proof of the book, just read it and find out if it contains mistakes or not. Because that is the challenge that have been stated.
No, I mean, I agree. With the Qur'an, there's no question about it.
Alright, so the question is about the Sunnah, for example.
About the Sunnah.
About the Sunnah. The Sunnah is the explanation of the Qur'an. Now, God preserved his book through many things. He preserved the book through his sunnah also. Because I and you may differ about the meaning of that certain verse. Now, what is the criterion? We find the explanation of the Qur'an in the Sunnah. I cannot explain the Qur'an by my own desire, because I might say, well, my mind differs than your mind. Our minds differ. Now, to who we return? If my mind and your mind differs, we go to the Sunnah of the Prophet. How the Prophet explained this certain verse. So by that, even the meaning is, because Christians they change even the meanings and even the names. You will find the names are also changed, not only the words. Therefore, Allah preserved His book, the Qur'an, through the Qur'an itself and through the Sunnah, which explains everything that you want to know, even about the Qur'an itself. And it is revelation, because God said in the Qur'an, it is we who revealed the book, and on us is to protect it. I'm sorry, I gave wrong translation. It is we who revealed the revelation. He did not say the book. I'm sorry. The revelation, al-dhikr, it's in Arabic, the Arabic word. Al-dhikr, and it is on us to protect it. To protect the revelation. So we should not think that God preserved the Qur'an but not the Sunnah, because the Sunnah is also revelation. It's revelation. It's an explanation of the Qur'an. Therefore, no one can play games, as what we find, for example, in Christianity. If Jesus passes by today, and you call him, "Hey Jesus," who are you calling? I'm not Jesus. That's not my name. If you call Peter, where are you? I'm not Peter. I'm Patros. I am not Peter. I'm Patros. So by that, the Sunnah is explained. You see, we in Islam today, we can find out easily what is the wrong, because there are wrong narrations, false narrations, and true narrations. And you have people who dedicated their life, all their life, for one job: to follow up the narrations. There are people who are specialized in the narrators, in the character, in the how to say, the biography of the narrators. They know this certain narrator, when he was born, who are his teachers, who are his students, what was his character, how many hadith he memorized, how many hadith he narrated, where did he get the hadith, and to who he delivered it. They know all of it. We have hundreds of volumes, believe me. Hundreds of volumes. We can pick, just let anyone make any false hadith and spread it and give it to me. Tell me. These are the narrators. We can find it out immediately, easily. This is another miracle. And by that, God preserved the Sunnah of His Prophet. So there is no way also to change the meanings of the Qur'an. I hope that gives an answer to your question.
Right. Now, Quran and Sunnah combined, probably still don't set out 100% rules for everything. Probably can't.
I did not get your question.
Right. Quran and Sunnah combined.